In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Requital. Thee do we serve, and Thee do we beseech for help. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom Thou hast bestowed favors, not of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. Object of our Muslim prayer, brothers and sisters. The object of our Muslim prayer is the purification of heart, which is necessary for the spiritual advancement or spiritual development. Benefits of our prayer, brothers and sisters. Allah promises many blessings to you if you turn to Him in prayer. Nations are no longer, or rather no doubt, destroyed when they indulge in the evil inordinately, and they prosper only so long as their good qualities preponderate. I come to you in peace, brothers and sisters. I come to you in peace, my brown brothers and sisters, my black brothers and sisters, my red brothers and sisters. But today we come to discuss in particular this difficult time of our brown brothers and sisters who have lost a dear brown sister, young sister, to death and dismemberment. And whoever done this crime, my prayer to Allah is that the real culprit is caught. Yes, my brothers and sisters, I said the real culprit. Because if you believe that this young Davis Robinson, if you believe that this young Davis Robinson killed our sister, brothers and sisters, you're blind. And not only that, but you're not paying true attention to the white man. Aaron Davis Robinson did not kill Vanessa Guillen, brothers and sisters. But it is expedient and it is sufficient. As a white man has done in the past, so he does today. To accuse Aaron Davis Robinson of killing Vanessa Guillen without any kind of evidence, brothers and sisters, is mad. Is mad. And the evidence that was given from a white girl who is not credible, who has shown her incredibility, who says that he talked to her on the phone. We've seen no evidence. We don't even know the relationship between Aaron Davis Robinson and Vanessa Guillen. From our investigation, we're finding out that they knew each other very well and were very close to one another. We're finding out that this white girl that was attached to this case, who's not even being charged for a major felony, is the sole accuser or the sole compliant information for the young man that is accused that is not with us. The brother is not with us. How convenient for him to end his life. How convenient that is for the federal government at Fort Hood. How convenient it is for this young man to lose his life and to have killed the girl that he allegedly assaulted or sexually harassed. Brothers and sisters, I want you to think about this. You need to really use your noodle on this one. You need to really set aside any differences or prejudices or racism that you have and really think about this case. Really think about this case. My brown brothers and sisters, you know that the hell that the white man has put us through, we really need to be trying to find the real killer of our sister, our dear beloved sister. It pains me to see that the government is trusted and that the white racists in the military I was a military vet, so I'm sure a lot of you black veterans and brown veterans and red veterans know exactly what I'm talking about. How many crimes have we seen, small crimes as well as major crimes, that white soldiers have gotten away with? Today we're talking about Vanessa Guillen. Today we're talking about Vanessa Guillen. But yesterday we were talking about Lavinia Lynn Robinson in the desert, in the case that was investigated, that no clarity came through. Her body was dismembered. Her body was chopped and cut. Her genitals dismembered. Gas poured on her. She was lit to fire, shot, stabbed. And the government would accept a view that she had done this to herself. Come on, brothers and sisters. It's time to wake up, my brothers and sisters. My brown brothers, it's time for you to wake up. You can no longer hide this crime. You can no longer hide it and accept the false information that you've been given by this white devil who runs the United States military, who is responsible for the acts of the soldiers, the ones that really did this crime, and even the crime itself forensically. Say this now by training. And psychotically is not a crime that a black man would commit. It is, in other words, it is irregular that a black man would kill a woman for this, for being turned down, and chop her up, dismember her body. Say that they saw him carrying a heavy object. How convenient. How convenient. Saw him carrying a heavy object, dragging something out, and nobody stopped him. No one reported this to the military police. No cameras caught him. Not even the Google digital camera caught him doing this. There's no evidence except the word of a poor, white, trashy white girl. I beg your pardon, brothers and sisters. I beg your pardon. But we have to do better than this. I know brown brothers and sisters that are dear friends of mine that know better than this. That know better than this. That there's no way that you would see a black man do a crime. Anyone, white, that would see a black man do a crime and would not report it in the time and day that we're living in. Here's a man, they say, committed murder, chopped up the body, drugged the body in a container to a shallow area, dumped the body out of that and covered it up. I beg your pardon, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, we can do better than that. And all because he was turned down and being guilty of sexual assault. These mistruths, half-truth, and lies sent to us by the white man. When you know the condition that you're in, he sees the black man and the brown man coming together. He sees the red man coming together with the black and brown. He commits a murder, the white man, because his fingerprints is all over this. The white man's fingerprints is all over this. And he sees an opportunity to not just kill brown people with the confidence and protection of the federal government and a racist president that we have, the duck. The duck is a racist president. So they have the covering of a racist president who speak against the brown man, as he call them, the Mexicans. He speak against the brown man coming in America. He's built a wall against Mexico. He advocates the killing of brown people. He's put brown children in concentration camps, separated them from their mothers and fathers. My brothers and my sisters, I'm asking you to use your head and your mind. He has major followers in MAGA, or Make America Great Again. And by that he means the white man killing you and I and getting away with it. This is a white crime. This is a white crime that has happened against our brown sister, and the act of the crime is associated with white middle class officials or wealthy white men and women, or disgruntled white poor women to commit a crime like this. If this young white woman was estranged from her husband, who's carrying all of this evidence, who the United States government is using as a major source of assurance that the crime was committed by this young black man, Aaron Davis Robinson. Where is the case? They're already calling him a perpetrator in Wikipedia. Already calling the young man a perpetrator. He's already been accused. Dishonored. Not even given a fair trial. Even after his death, he's being accused. And we know the footprints lead anyone with any sense, with any ounce of brain or intelligence, can see that the footprints lead to possibly a white officer, male or female, along with this young white girl as an assailant. We don't know who her husband is. How convenient for Wikipedia and the media to say that this young white girl is estranged from her husband. Who is her husband? What is his relationship to Vanessa Guillen? In our investigation, we find out that Vanessa Guillen and Aaron Davis Robinson were very close friends. My brothers and my sisters, don't you know that if we can investigate and find out these medial information, this medial information, and see something wrong, that there's a cover-up going on, people that have been involved in investigation for years and forensics for years can see that something funny is going on here. Something fishy is going on here. They can see that there's a cover-up. Brothers and my sisters, I'm asking you to use your head, your heart, and use your discernment to know when somebody's pulling the wool over your eye. My brown brothers and sisters, I'm asking you now to fight hard to see this through. Fight hard to understand what is taking place. This is a fight against you, to keep you out of America. The white man is using this to have you to look at the black man and the black race as a sense of emotional indifference and racial difference. And he'll continue to work against you. Continue to build his wall. It doesn't matter whether he's Democrat or Republican. The white man is not your friend. It's not your friend. And how can you trust the federal government to do this investigation? How can you trust Fort Hood administration to do this investigation? My brothers and my sisters, you need to be in mountain numbers. You need to be active outside of Fort Hood's base daily. You need to be finding out any information that you can and helping your sister organization, LULAC. You need to be investigating every little instance and other instances where people have lost their lives. At Fort Hood, there have been many black people to lose their lives. At Fort Hood, the deaths have been covered up. The only difference in this death is the horrific act of how it was carried out, which is familiar. Crimes that are familiar with poor whites, middle class whites, and wealthy whites, not associated with black men, especially not young black men. So brothers and sisters, I ask you to use your brain. Get out of your emotions. Get out of your ignorance and use your brain to figure out what is really going on. We should get justice for our sister, Vanessa Guillen. We need justice. Time out for divisiveness and racism and any kind of discrimination or any small feeling that you may have against a brother or a sister and vice versa. At this time in the country, black, brown, and red men need to be pulling together to figure out what is really going on at Fort Hood. What happened at Fort Hood? What really happened? What is the story? Why is it that the accused man is dead? Did anyone see him kill her? No. This brings questions. This brings questions. Did not see her get killed. Didn't see her get killed by a black man. Shouldn't that be the thing to eliminate a black man? This black man, how convenient, have went to a white woman who was supposed to have been his girlfriend. We have no proof of that. We have no proof. And not only that, but we don't know who her husband is that she's supposed to be estranged from. We have no proof. If the young man did it, then justice needs to be served. But prove to me that this young black brother, Aaron Davis Robinson, killed Vanessa Guillen. We have no proof. We can't go on what we've been told. The white man's woman will lie. She's a liar and the birther of liars. How many times, my black and brown brothers, I ask you, have the white woman accused you of raping her? You've been arrested. When I say you, I mean your brothers have been arrested, sent to jail, life in prison. How many times have you been accused of stealing white babies only for the government to find out that white women have killed their own kids? Black men have served years, decades in prison to be let free afterwards when the devil knew in the beginning that he was not guilty of the crime. But anytime something goes wrong, blame the black man. Anytime something's out of order, blame the black man. Anytime some crime happens that a white man does who doesn't want to be responsible, blame the black man. And America has gotten comfortable in blaming the black man, and you have gotten comfortable believing, because of your own prejudice, what the white man has said or what he has accused the black man of. How many black brothers and brown brothers and red brothers, some yellow, have been killed by police for resisting arrest? We look at the cameras today that we have and judge the character of these men and find out that they were not resisting arrest. But because the white man is a bloodthirsty, hungry beast who loves to sacrifice people, who loves to take the lives of not just the black man, but the brown man, the red man, and the yellow man, because he can do this, he does it and never pays a penalty. How many times have he taken our lives and blamed us for him taking our lives? People who didn't have a gun, people who were not resisting arrest, but they just rode in on Breonna Taylor and shot her up. Shot her in her house. And these are the people that you want to believe? Brown man, you want to believe these people? The white man is not your friend. They can't give you enough money to quench the death, the ruthless and unjustified death of our beautiful brown sister, Vanessa Guillen. No, my brothers and my sisters, black man is not responsible for this. You need to really, really get on your phones and really, really get on the base, really get around the base and really search for evidence, because I'm telling you that you can't trust the United States government with this information. You can take their information as justified information from the investigation of the death of our people. Yes, I said our people. We're the same, brothers. Brothers and sisters, we're the same. You're black, brown, or red, we're the same. Yellow, we're the same. Come from the same blood. The very same blood. The only separation that we have is the separation that the white man gave us in the system of racism, in the institutions of racism, and that's what Fort Hood is. Fort Hood is an institution of racism. By serving in the Army, all of us that were in the Army are guilty of enforcing the system of racism. We may go for many different reasons, brothers and sisters, but it boils down to just that. My desire and my prayer is that the real culprit is found. And we can look to God and look to dedicated men and women, dedicated black, brown, and red men and women to investigate what has happened to our native dear sister, our brown sister. We have to be wise, brothers and sisters. We must be wise of the shrewdness of the devil that we're dealing with. This white satanic beast that we're dealing with. We have no forensics. There are no forensic specialists on this case. I would love to be a forensic specialist on this case, to judge it and see what's going on. We're already doing our own investigation. We're doing our own investigation now to find out what is going on. There are brown brothers and sisters that are working hard. Some have not even called back because they already have their mind made up. believing the white man about the facts concerning this case, when we again have seen no facts of this black man killing this brown sister. We've seen no facts of this black man dragging something that white folks saw him with, that somebody white saw him with, struggling with, didn't try to help him, didn't try to be nosy like they normally are to find out what's really going on, and didn't even report it. And then she's buried, how conveniently, in a shallow grave. And the individual that is in question is dead. And his alleged girlfriend, they say that was his girlfriend. We don't know. We don't have the facts. He's not alive. He's not alive to deny this fact or agree with it. But the weakness of us is that we will quickly believe what we've been told. Quickly, without questioning the actual facts of this case. And this black man is already being made the perpetrator. Though he be dead, he cannot defend himself. He can neither acknowledge nor deny the lie or truth, if that's the case, of what's being said. And already, the brown man is in uproar and looking half-sighted at the black man without facts. If the man has done this crime, then he should be judged. But first, present the facts and show me where this man has done this crime. Present the facts to me. I love all of us, brothers and sisters, all native and indigenous people, associated with indigenous people. I love us. We have to be fact finders. We have to be non-emotional, especially in this time. And we must be united. We must be united. Ignorance is running rampant right now. Ignorance of brothers and sisters who can't put aside their petty differences and look at this case and join forces to really investigate what is going on. Appreciate the administrations that are investing your time and staying in unity to discover what's going on. I appreciate you. Do not be discouraged. Do not be ignorant. Do not be sideswiped by the lies of the media, the racism of the media, the prejudice of the media, the emotions of the media. Because I believe that we will find out more on this case from our association or from some new association. But human rights will certainly investigate and find out what's going on. And in our association, we have black, yellow, brown, and red people who are going to be investigating this even after the dust is settled. My brothers and my sisters, they should be looking all the way up the chain of command when it comes to Fort Hood. Fort Hood has a reputation, we've learned by investigation, has a reputation of racism and Ku Klux Klan actions, lynchings, sexual assaults, sexual deaths, and murders. Let's talk a little bit more about Lavinia Lynn Johnson, who was killed in the desert on deployment while she was serving in Iraq. I say to you again, brothers and sisters, I say to you again, she was stabbed, her genitals dismembered with a blade, shot several times, and even in the head, in the torso. Not only that, but gasoline was put on her, and they tried to burn her up. Couldn't do it. She wouldn't burn. That means that God would not allow this sin to be covered. Her blood cried out from the ground, the same as Vanessa Guillen. But not for Aaron Davis Robinson. The blood is crying out to be discovered and to discover who killed Vanessa Guillen, because it was not Aaron Davis Robinson. I say that with a clear conscience because there are too many holes in this investigation, and none of them filled. But hundreds of questions are arising. Strange things forensically are happening to this case. So much tampering with this case from Fort Hood, from the United States government. Very little information being leaked. Everything is being controlled. Even the information is being controlled. And they're telling you what they want you to know. Telling you what they want you to know, brothers and sisters. You can take that, or you can leave it alone. You don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with that. That there are so many holes in this investigation. And you don't want to deal with how easy it is to say a black man committed this crime. You don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with it for several reasons. It brings out your racism. It brings out your discrimination. It brings out your sexation and sexual discrimination. Against one another. Let's move the white man out of the way for a minute. He's a racist. He's a devil. He's satanic and evil. But let's move him out of the way for a minute. How many of you already are satisfied with the answers that Fort Hood and the federal government gave you concerning the death of Vanessa Guillen? And if you've been satisfied and you've been short with your black, brown, and red brothers, what does that say about you? What does that say about you? In times like these, we are forced to deal with what we have going on, the inside, our actions and our responses, our behaviors will let loose our struggles on the inside, and it happens for all the world to see. Let this case be different. Reorganize yourself. Get yourself back together mentally. Get yourself back together emotionally. Get yourself back together sexually. And let's get into full bloom investigation to find out who killed our sister, because it was not Aaron Davis Robinson. The footprints lead away from him. And whoever killed her did not act alone. Whoever killed her, there's a reason why the information is being controlled. This is going on in her company. There's a company beside it that understands the same information has been going on. There are non-commissioned officers and commissioned officers who have not been questioned. We don't hear anything from the captain to give an apology or being apologetic We don't hear anything from any of the other officials that are in her chain of command. But we hear from other individuals that are down visiting the base, and some that are intertwined in the base in the military rank structure that are giving us the information they would like for us to have. This, my brothers and sisters, the killing of our brown sister is a racist killing. And the killing of Aaron Davis Robinson was permitted to cover it up. You have a black and brown dead. Nobody questions it. Two people who may have known each other. Undoubtedly, from the facts and information that we have uncovered. They won't even admit it. Why not? Why won't you admit that this beautiful brown sister knew this handsome black brother? And that they have possibly had a strong relationship. And that there were white people on base that were disturbed by their relationship. And that this young brother, telling you what we've discovered in investigation, finds out about the sexual harassment. He's upset about it and he's going to report it. And once he reported, one of the culprits, or several of the culprits, officer and non-commissioned officer, who are white, who also works in the Equal Opportunity Office for veterans, who is white, tell this information to one another and conspire to kill the brother who was dating a brown sister. Who another white devil wanted to talk to. And when she wouldn't talk to the white man, he started harassing her. And you sisters know how white people can be when they don't get what they want. They will kill you. They'll kill you when they get what they want. How many brown and black sisters have been raped in the military and sent to mental health? Where I worked, were dubbed crazy, were dubbed insane, who were released due to mental faculties or mental unrest or psychological reasons, medical discharge, instead of the Army dealing with it. But you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with that. Let's have a real discussion about what's happening in this country. The racists running this country and a racist administration that voted him in, a racist military, and racist people working along with the military, including the Ku Klux Klan, and white racist organizations, both out and in, that have it out for black and brown brothers and sisters. Let's deal with that. And when you begin to deal with this, it will cause you to be honest with yourself. When you begin to deal with this, it will cause you to research what is really going on. The fact that she's dead, under the circumstances, and the place where she was found, all suggest that this was a white killing. And that they have to go back to the drawing board and find out who really killed this sister. If the FBI and the CIA really do their job, you will find that this is a killing conspired and organized by a white officer with the compliance of non-commissioned officer and lower enlisted. This black man did the crime. Where is the proof? Where's the proof? I know many black brothers that have been rejected by a woman, including myself, that have never sought to harm her. In the black community, that's not what we do. We don't do that. There have been many cries of sexual harassment against black men that have been untrue, unfounded. Many cries of rape against black men that have been untrue and unfounded. And these brothers, after careful investigation, have been released in an impartial investigation, in an impartial hearing. But what I'm trying to tell you today is that the black man can never get an impartial hearing from a jury that's not his own peers. An impartial hearing and investigation from the white man. That's a fact. But my black and brown brothers and sisters, my red brothers and sisters, do you want to deal with this? Why don't you want to deal with that? You can't deal with that. You don't want to deal with that. But it's a fact. It's a fact. So you and I have a job. We have a job today. We've got to find out what's going on. We got to find out what's going on, brothers and sisters. We've got to figure this out. You and I have to figure this out. Through independent investigation and self-policing. We have to find out what is going on. And you got to be careful, because in our investigation we found out that there are people that have investigated this case that have been killed. Let's deal with that. There are people that have been investigating this particular case that have already been killed, have came up missing, found in car crashes. There are people who have investigated cases prior to this, including Lavinia Lynn Johnson, who have been killed. Because the government sought to cover it up. And they're covering it up now. This is a cover-up. If you live around Fort Hood, you know the reputation of this place. The same reputation that many bases have of these same incidents of racism and narcissism that are covered up by the federal government. Many of you may want to say, well, maybe you don't want to deal with the fact that a black man did this. I beg your pardon, that's not true. Black people have done crime. It doesn't matter to me whether he's black, whether he's brown, whether he's red, yellow, or white. If he's done the crime, he should do the time. And if he's killed someone, I wouldn't waste time sending him into jail. Take him out right away and blow his brains out. If he's committed murder, then he should be a victim of his own seed. But give me the facts. Show me the proof that Aaron Davis Robinson committed this murder, because I see none. The only thing we have is the word of a culprit who is not being charged for murder, who is not being charged for accessory to murder, who is not being charged a major felony. We still don't know who her husband is. Is her husband the man that killed Vanessa We have to deal with that. These are questions that we have to ask. Is her husband the man that killed Vanessa and is going to get away with it? Who are the others that conspired in this killing? For they did not act alone. There's no way. There's no way that one person did this. Who are the killers? Who was the main killer? Who were his culprits in this? Who aided him in the killing of our brown sister? We should be trying to find that out. That's why I greeted you in peace, brothers and sisters. And always greet you in peace. Some of the word that we give as Muslims is difficult. And as indigenous people, I know firsthand how we can respond, how emotional we are because of the oppression and stress that we're under from this devil, this satanic beast who lords over us. 45 is a racist, brothers and sisters. 45 is a racist. 45 is a racist. 45 is a racist. The duck is a racist. Donald Trump is a racist. He has racist people in office, racist regimes running the military, racist people running the local government down to the smallest level, even racist people who have no jobs, put out a job, have no assistance or anything. He's taken everything away from them, and they're still worshiping this man because America is racist against the red man, racist against the black man, racist against the brown man, and yes, racist against the yellow man. I'm asking you to search deep, brothers and sisters, and release that. Release that discrimination. Release that emotionalism. Release that sexual discrimination. Release that racial discrimination in your hearts. If the black man has racial art against the brown man, irregardless of what the situation is, free yourself, brothers and sisters. If the brown man has art against the black man, free yourself from these feelings. The red man has art against the black and brown. Free yourself from that. Let's bind closer together. And we pray the same for the yellow man. That he would jump in and exuberate brotherhood, love, unity, instead of division. The one rule that should be clear among indigenous people is that you should not take the word of white people. The red man knows about the word of the white man. He already knows. The white man brought him here and fed him. Farmed for him. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Raised crop. Showed him how to do the same. To survive. Why did the red man do this? Because the first colony that they set up, talking about the European, the red man saw the first colony that they set up in Jamestown. They didn't have any food. They ran out of rations. The red man brought them some food, wanted to teach them farming, but they didn't know enough about it. So as people started dying, the white man started cooking their flesh and eating them. And this is a fact in history. They ate the black man. They used his skin as leather. They ate white people that died and made their bodies porridge, clothed themselves with the black man's skin, ate his flesh, ate the white man as porridge, those that died in Jamestown, to last throughout the winter. After that, the Native American, having so much love and so much desire to civilize this white oppressor, unbeknownst to them at the time, disregarded the teaching of their elders and helped this man. What did the white man do in return? He gave him smallpox. Every red man knows this story. He gave other diseases. Every red man knows this story. The red man was battling smallpox. The white man began to take over his plantations, take over his food ration, and manipulation goes on and on. I know the black man knows about the white man. The white man has been killing us from rooter to tutor. Came in Africa with the assistance of Portugal, catching us, unbeknownst to other Africans who fought. Africa fought. Anytime he saw the white man grabbing one of us, he killed him. He didn't wait. Those that they got away with. Those that got away with and was fighting. Kingdoms that was overrun by cannons and all kinds of gunpowder and ballistic weapons of that day. Came over and overtook areas where people tried to treat the white man decent. But he is not decent, so you can't treat him decent. So what happened, brothers and sisters? The Atlantic slave trade. Did you know that the red man was the first part of the North Atlantic slave trade? Did you know that the black man was a major crop along with the red man in the North Atlantic slave trade? This is the reason you have plantations and reservations today. You still have plantations and reservations, brothers and sisters. The black side of town is a plantation. All the problems of the plantation came in the black side of town. The crop has just changed. And the major crop is you, black man. Did you know that the Iroquois, which is the brown man, the father of the brown man, was part of the North Atlantic slave trade through Spain? Your Iroquois, some Navajo, some Lakota, some Pawnee, some Oglala. There were black Indians that were taken too, black natives that were taken by the Spaniards. Placed in Guatemala, placed in Cuba, placed in Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, all of these places, my brothers and my sisters. Same for the yellow man who came, was mistreated, killed, beaten, and lynched. It's a white man who forced you into the same inquisition that we were forced in. So brown man, I submit this to you. This is really for you today. To stay united. I'm crying today, black and brown unity, so that we can find out what's going on. We've got many marches to do. We've got many revolutions to do. We've got much work to do. And that work will happen with you and I, with the aid of the red man and the yellow man. But you and I, brown men, must stand up front on this issue and find out who the true killers of VANESSA GUILLEN is. And I say to you again, in the most urgent, heartfelt, and loving plea, Do not look at our brother Aaron Davis Robinson. I say again, you have the wrong man. I leave you as I greeted you, brothers and sisters, in peace. I leave you as I greeted you in peace that surpasses all understanding, and the love that only God can give. The great God, the omnipotent, the merciful God, the beneficent, merciful God, the all-seeing God, the great sky chief, come to you, drawing from his heart and his presence. The great stirrer of the universe. And I asked him to help Blackfoot to Ogalla, brown man to red man, black man to red man to brown man, to let his spirit soar to find out what is really going on in this case. With the power, love, and strength and history of the Black Muslim movement, I carry that with me to find out and to deal with and to investigate what's really going on here, and to keep your eyes open to the one who is responsible for you and I being in the situation that we're in, where white people can kill us and be justified. My brothers and my sisters, I've kept you long enough. I love you. You know me. My name is Mauricelm-Lei. I am with you. I'm beside you. I soar above you and go before you in the presence of the awesome Spirit of God. And his desire is that we will stay in unity, stay strong, stay united, and stay encouraged, and to see this all the way through. May Allah bless and keep you. And as usual, my desire and my prayer is that the truth will be uncovered. My desire and my prayer is that the truth will be known for all to see, and that the lie will be cast out, pushed away, and that we will be baptized in knowledge, wisdom, and intelligence that will see us all through for the great day of requital that is near us, where this white man will be, by God, de-seated from his satanic seat of evil, and that you and I will fight to see it done against the common enemy, not fight each other, but to fight united a common enemy, and that we will study war no more.